The movie unfolds in 2085, a time when humanity delves into the vast cosmos using faster-than-light technologies. We are introduced to Emiliana Newton, a girl lying in a space capsule with closed eyes. Abruptly, the indicators within the capsule begin to change, prompting Emiliana to anxiously open her eyes and emit a horrifying scream. Upon regaining consciousness after a period, Emiliana finds herself still in the same capsule, devoid of any memory of the preceding events. She turns to her AI assistant, Ada, seeking clarification about her location. Ada informs her that they are orbiting Q465b. Perplexed, Emiliana then inquires about her boyfriend, Philip Maida. Ada explains that his capsule lost power, leading to critical oxygen levels, leaving him adrift in space. Filled with fear and confusion, Emiliana scans her surroundings, struggling to comprehend how they departed from their main ship, Solus. She then requests Ada to chart a course to Philip's capsule. However, Ada cautions her that this route will substantially drain their energy reserves, potentially hindering their return to the ship.
Are you sure? Positive, do it.
Emiliana's commands, Ada ignites the engines, propelling their capsule swiftly towards Philip's. As they approach, Emiliana notices a warning indicating low fuel levels. She promptly instructs Ada to apply brakes and engage the left side thrusters. Using ropes, Emiliana successfully docks the capsules together. She then directs Ada to engage reverse and set a course back to Solus. While en route to the ship, Emiliana observes another warning about dwindling fuel reserves. Ada soon announces complete depletion of their energy stores. Emiliana, left with no alternative, commands Ada to open the doors to lock down Block 2, despite the risk of losing control over their trajectory. She then instructs Ada to deploy the top magnetic connectors, enabling them to latch onto Solus. Upon returning to the ship, Emiliana shoulders the unconscious Philip and requests Ada to open the medical bay. Inside, she places Philip on a bed, fits him with an oxygen mask, and connects him to a diagnostic machine. Despite minimal signs of life, Philip's eyelids barely twitch. Emiliana manually checks his breathing and heartbeat before querying Ada about the functionality of their medical equipment, to which Ada confirms its proper operation. Perplexed by Philip's condition, Emiliana seeks reassurance from Ada that he is indeed alive. Ada asserts his vitality, despite all indicators showing 0. Emiliana, determined, instructs Ada to continue supplying oxygen to Philip's mask against all odds. As Emiliana grapples with the aftermath of their challenging flight and the enigmatic interruption of their journey, she seeks clarity and resolution.
What the fuck happened?
To gather the events of their flight, Emiliana questions Ada about why their capsules were ejected from the ship. However, Ada denies any involvement, asserting that she didn't initiate the action. Perplexed, Emiliana insists that they couldn't have ended up in open space without cause, implying external interference. Suddenly, a chilling, muffled noise reverberates through the ship, instilling fear in Emiliana. She cautiously whispers to Ada, questioning if there are any other occupants aboard besides themselves. Ada maintains that Emiliana and Philip are the sole occupants. Emiliana rephrases her inquiry, now speculating about the possibility of the sounds originating from an alien presence. Ada reassures her that only 2 living beings are aboard the ship. Undeterred, Emiliana persists, probing Ada about the number of heat sources registering around, plus 37 degrees Celsius on the ship. The response she receives sends shivers down her spine.
3.
Summoning her courage and grasping her weapon, Emiliana cautiously advances toward the enigmatic 3rd heat source. As she nears it, she detects movement behind the door to the control compartment. She swiftly requests Ada to open it. In an instant, a shot reverberates, knocking Emiliana's firearm from her grip and sending her sprawling to the ground. Standing in the doorway, Philip, now wielding the weapon, gazes at the astonished Emiliana. It becomes apparent that this Philip differs from the one who was unconscious moments ago, yet there is recognition between them. Together, Emiliana and the other Philip proceed to the medical bay, where they confront the body of the initial Philip, seeking to unravel the unfolding mystery. With skepticism in his gaze, the other Philip turns to Ada, seeking confirmation of Emiliana's identity. Ada affirms her identity, though the other Philip remains incredulous. Emiliana, too, harbors doubts about the stranger masquerading. As Philip implores Ada to validate his identity, Ada reaffirms that he is indeed Philip, prompting Emiliana to inquire about the individual lying on the bed, and Ada just repeats the is confirmation.
Ada, how's that possible?
I cannot explain this discrepancy.
Suddenly, the other Philip solemnly informs Emiliana that she is no longer among the living. He recounts a recent incident where the hyperlight core malfunctioned, prompting their awakening from cryosleep. To address the issue, Emiliana ventured into space while he accessed the core's external sensors. Despite their prolonged efforts to rectify the malfunction, an explosion rocked the ship merely 2 hours prior, engulfing Emiliana's capsule in its destructive wake. Philip struggles to reconcile the sight of Emiliana before him with the memory of witnessing her demise firsthand. Presumably, Emiliana with similar disbelief and confusion. In a moment of clarity, Emiliana turns to Ada and requests the current date and time. The revelation strikes with profound significance. It is March 22nd, 2103 on Earth, while according to standard orbital time, it's 954 hours, 34 minutes, 54 seconds.
What?
In the midst of horror, Emiliana realizes that their ship should have exited hyperlight 2 hours ago, signaling an apparent mishap. She queries the other Philip about activating the distress beacon, to which he confirms adherence to protocol. Consequently, Emiliana deduces their purpose to respond to the distress signal. In a moment of realization, Emiliana articulates a theory stemming from the existence of the other Philip in a parallel reality. She posits that when Solus, where she accompanied the first Philip, arrived, the other Philip Solus was already present. This collision of realities, she suggests, led to the demise of the first Philip, as another version of him occupied this reality. Conversely, Emiliana survived because her counterpart did not. The other Philip struggles to grasp this unsettling theory, but acknowledges their duality, agreeing to continue their tasks on the core. As the other Philip prepares to hack the processor, Emiliana takes on the responsibility of checking the boundary controller. After a while, Emiliana conducts a thorough check and discovers that the controller has lost connection with the rest of the ship's systems. She promptly queries Ada about the whereabouts of her quantum equipment, to which Ada responds that it remained in the docking bay. Observing her work, the other Philip volunteers to retrieve it himself. Suddenly, a dreadful idea grips Emiliana. While the other Philip ventures to retrieve the equipment, she decisively closes and locks the door to the docking bay. Concerned, the other Philip approaches the sealed door, attempting to reason with her. However, Emiliana reveals her grim realization. The boundary controller has caught fire, condemning them to years of confinement. As the gravity of the situation sinks in, the other Philip understands Emiliana's motive. She seeks to reclaim the first Philip, even at the expense of his life, to spend the remainder of her days aboard the ship with him. Emiliana plans to eject the other Philip into open space, but Ada insists that she cannot open the doors to the docking bay because someone is inside. Emiliana demands to switch to manual control and proceeds with her plan. However, just before being expelled into space, the other Philip manages to mention that the first Philip will figure everything out. The docking bay doors close, and the vital signs of the first Philip return to normal. Emiliana remains by her beloved's side, expressing how much she missed him. The just awakened man, still disoriented, thanks Emiliana for her care, unaware of the sacrifice made for his return. How would you act in the heroine's place? Share your thoughts in the comments below, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next videos.